The Middle of the Pack podcast.
The finish is what you want. The clock is second best. The finish to me is the win. The clock is the next. Yeah, and if you are chasing times, and we've all chased our times, and we've all wanted to get the times. And did I go home and did a post-mortem on my races? Yes. But do I now? Because there's different stages to everyone's, career in whether football, whatever you're doing. But the only thing about running ours is, I think we're the luckiest of all, because you can keep running for as long as you live if you want to. Once you keep healthy and you're sensible.
Welcome to episode 46 of the Middle of the Pack podcast, and that is our guest this week, Mary Sweeney. She is the font of lots of knowledge, and it was a pleasure to interview her in what was a first for the Middle of the Pack podcast. It was my first external interview where I normally do it over Zoom or over the internet, but we actually met in a coffee shop, shared Diet Coke and a decaf flat white. She also gave me wonderful fruitcake, which we didn't eat on the premises, but I have been enjoying it ever since. And we just chatted. So you'll have to excuse if there is that little chatter in the background, the sound of grinding coffee. I'll do my best to edit it out as I can. But also a point to note, I didn't have a microphone. I gave the microphone clipped onto Mary. So sometimes you'll hear me interacting with her, which slightly faded in the background. But where I can, I will try and edit my voice over some of the questions so you can hear what I was saying as well. So this was a great opportunity for me to interview a person who is a legend in cork running and a super encouraging, super friendly, and I have to say a marvellous woman altogether. Welcome to episode 46 of the Middle of the Pack podcast with Mary Sweeney. And I started by asking her how she got into running.
See, I've been running plenty for a long time. I've been running since I was a child, 10 or 11. And I only ever gave up running when I had my 2 pregnancies. And then people didn't run then. If you ran then, the boys with the white coat would take you away. Because you'd be seen to be crazy. I had my first child at 21 and my second child at 24. So, I was very young. Yes, I could have ran. Looking back now, dare I? What would my mother think? What would my father think? What would people think? So I didn't, because I'm 66 next week.
But what made you start running though?
Oh, made me start running. We were living in Youghal, and we were actually living in the lodge of a hospital at the time. And there was a man coming in with youngsters, children my age, like I was 10. And my father said, oh, where are they going now? What's happening? In through the gate. And there was a pitch down there, and it was actually Martin Drake. I think you've heard of Martin Drake, Youghal. Martin Drake. His father, Jimmy Drake, started the athletic club in Youghal. Okay. And because I was living at the lodge, the strafe went down with my father, and I was the slowest runner down the project. Because I'll tell you why. The longest he got to run was maybe 100, 200 metres. It was all sprinting, and I was last in every sprint. But I remember to this day my father saying to me, Mary Bird, he always called me Birdie, Mary Birdie, wait till it gets longer. I can see and you know what? 2 years later, I was literally, winning Munster Championships under 12. In the 8 and the 1500 metres, because that's what I went up to. I could go around the field all day for you, but to do a sprint, I couldn't do it. Which is, it's nice to be, that's how the athletic started. And my father and Jimmy passed away, and my father took over the athletic club. Yeah, so I ran with them then for years.
And who do you run with now?
I run with St. Bars. You wouldn't think that would. Bars have been very good to me. I'd be very loyal to them. But I have to say, I think Eagle has a lot in common with the Bars athletes. I think Eagle are just very friendly. Yeah. And most clubs are very friendly, but it's just that I know everybody since Ed introduced us all to another during COVID.
Yeah.
That to me was magical. Because I was the one that was gas once I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis 10 years ago, I had been very unwell before I was diagnosed. They were taking tests for everything. And I remember the parkrun around Ballincollig, and I used to go down there. I used to run the opposite way. Not because I was being different or wanted to be different, but because I hadn't the confidence. My body was so weak at the time running. I was able to run, but I was able to run very slow, and I might have to stop for a walk because, with the rheumatoid. And then people were saying, I was saying, well done to everyone. And then one day Anya Murphy caught me, she said, what are you doing? Running the opposite way? And I said, Anya, I'm a bit, because, I'm just a bit, I have no confidence. I haven't confidence to line up with anybody, never even confidence to budget. And you know what? The following Saturday I came down and I started doing, and I never looked back after that.
I remember you before I actually knew you at parkrun, and there was a guy and he was having real difficulty breathing, and you just ran up beside him and you went, in through your nose and out through your mouth, and you gave him some real help. I was really impressed that time.
Well, you kind of, you understand people as a runner. I think we understand. We're not doctors, we're not anything, but you understand when people are struggling more than they should, or maybe they need to.
Yeah,
it's like myself. I know when I'm very tired, my shoulders drop.
yeah.
My shoulders drop. So I'm conscious that, kind of, I'm conscious of that myself, and I see other people, and I tell you, you always know when people are running well at the moment.
Running is so special, isn't it? It's one of these things that we can do when we're young. It's one of these things that we can do when we're middle-aged, and even as we get over 50, as you say, we can continue to enjoy running. We can continue to just partake in running, and it is a community, and that's the important thing. I think that's what you're saying, isn't it?
Running is just, it's a very special sport to me, Ian, because it has carried me through many ups and downs in life.
Yeah.
That none of us are going to wear the t-shirt going out, but inside there's no one has a struggle in life. And last year really brought it home to me, because last year I thought, and I can say this honestly, I couldn't understand why why everything was coming into me. Then Kevin getting sick, not being sick, and then passing away. I had one surgery done before Kevin passed away, and the second surgery I had to face 3 weeks after he passed away, which I thought I would never be able to, because number one, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. So my body how was my body going to even going to be able to take, and so it was all the years of my life, and I'm married 44 years, all the years of my life, I thought last year was heavy.
And running got you through all that?
Running got me through it. And I remember people in the running the community saying to me, Mary, we'll get back. It will be different. It will be a new normality, especially after what I had, because I didn't know how would I get back, what will I get back to? And I remember saying to them, all I want to do is just go out and run a mile. And once I run a mile, I know I can go back in with the group, and I can be part of it. I was always part of it, but I didn't allow myself to be part of it, because I wasn't doing what I loved to do. Yeah. And the group was more precious when I was able to do with them. And that was selfish in me in one way, because I wanted to be with people, but I wanted to be able to run with them. Yeah. That's the honest truth. I'll never forget them, Paris. And I hope to God that I'll never have to help them through anything like this. But I hope to God that I'll be there for maybe something, that I'll be there for them.
Yeah, you see, that's life, isn't it? Really, we learn from them. We learn from people. We have life experiences, and then hopefully we can pass that on to others. And, through our life experiences, we're able to help people through theirs when anyone ever ends up in a situation like ours,
You help, and you actually, have I become a nicer person? I don't know. Have I become a better person? Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, and this to you. I would have been jealous people running way faster. I would say, Jesus, in a nice way. Now, I love to see people doing well. Now, I love to, it's the first year, I'm being honest with you, that I'm not envious, lady, is the word. That I'm not doing the marathon. I'm delighted with the people that are doing it. They're trained, they put in, and I'm delighted to be able to watch them.
And the Cork City Marathon is kind of special, isn't it?
Cork and Dublin, I think.
Yeah.
I would put Dublin down. I mean, I love Dublin as well.
Yeah.
Because I suppose when the marathons, when I started, I did 3 marathons in my 20s, and I stopped 2 marathons then because the children were small and I was working full time, and I just didn't have the energy really, or the time I suppose, to do. So I didn't go back running my marathons until the first year Cork came back. I didn't even have a number, and I rang Mick Dooley. Mick, can you do me a favour? And he said, Mary, what? This was Tuesday now, the marathon was on the Sunday. And I jumped on the Cork Marathon. He said, leave it with me, Mary. Leave it with me. And I ran the Cork Marathon that year.
You got some special award too, didn't you?
I did, which was lovely. Can I tell you something about that award? It was beautiful, and I was honoured to get it. It was my most nervous marathon going into, because I felt I'd rather not get an award, or if they were going to give it to me, don't tell me they're going to give it to me, just then, because I was so, what about if I don't finish this year? What about if something goes wrong? That was me being proud, obviously, wasn't it? But we're all I remember coming in the last turn and going, thank you. And getting to the finish. The clock wasn't of an interest to me. Yeah, I did probably a decent time, but it was against that mile. And no, I was after achieving what they said I was good at.
Yeah.
Imagine,
I know, but I think it was for your contribution as well, wasn't it?
It was, but it was magical. It was lovely. And I had a beautiful picture of it, and it was a lovely moment.
Yeah.
It was a moment.
So back in the day, what about fueling? How did you fuel yourself, or what kind of fueling strategy would you have adopted back then?
For the first marathons, anything but. We never took I never knew anything about gels for all the years I was running marathons until in the last 5 or 6 years that gels really, to me, are really, and no, I didn't. What I used to always bring with me was a small bottle of Lucas Sport.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it wasn't the course, I'd grab it again. That was what I took. But the day before, I might drink 2 bottles of Lucas Sport. I ate well for 10 days before. I I stopped having the fruit and veg really for the week.
Yeah.
But I had, you know what? Loads of bread and jam.
Yeah.
And it was the white bread.
Well, that's the
That's,
carb.
that's what I had.
Yeah.
And I had pasta a couple of days a week. And I didn't change I didn't extra, I never went into the marathon 4 or 5 pounds with some people heavier. I didn't. I went into it at my weight.
But you must have a natural ability to run, so it obviously helps you through long distances.
Maybe. But then again, maybe too, like I was well seasoned. Come on, I'm running long enough. Like I was well seasoned. And I was running distance running when people weren't running distance running,
But it's funny because when you say you ate well and you had bread and you had jam and you had pasta, you obviously were doing what we call now carb loading, weren't you really?
I was carb loading, yeah. Without the label. And I love bananas. Even to this day, I eat at least 1 to 2 bananas every day. And I don't think 2 bananas are bad for you.
No.
But I never went on this special. The one thing I think is particularly for women, what they need to watch, and I really mean this marathon training, is their not that they don't get anemic.
Yeah.
Because it is a major thing that happens with them.
Yeah.
It does. Because now, I don't know much scientifically about it, but they say the more pound you do on the road. Now, I can't go to that side because I'm not educated enough to know. But I do know when I was doing all my marathon training that I would have to get my blood checked, and nearly always it would go down, and I'd have to go on an iron tonic. An iron, just a supplement, an iron supplement. I think that's very important. Maybe for men too, but I can't speak for men, but for women I do know. I do know that, I do know it's, there's things, look, you can do everything right and go into a marathon party, and it can go wrong in the day.
Yeah.
And that's okay. The very fact that you line up for a marathon means you have to give yourself a clap in the back, because you have dedicated yourself to at least 4 months training. You've given up a lot. You've chose to get up in the morning at 6 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday morning to go out and do an 18 or 20-mile run. You have to give yourself a pat on the back for all that. Whether or not it goes right in the day, and that's where we sometimes are very hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
Or if you get injured before the marathon, it feels like a disaster, but it's not, because it's banked.
Yeah.
It's all banked, and that's because I'm older and wiser now, though.
So how many marathons did you say you did?
I 54 done. Yeah. But I wouldn't consider myself a marathon runner, even to this day. No, Patrick, I wouldn't, because I tell you why. Because my better days were in my 30s when I was running good 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons.
Yeah.
They were my thing. That's where I think that was my forte. I was much better at half marathons and 10-milers than any marathon. I know I was.
So how many were you averaging a year then to do all those marathons?
For 5 up years, mostly my 50s. And I had plenty of time. And I felt I had plenty of time in my 50s.
Yeah.
I was still working. Children weren't needing to be looked after anymore. So I was working, so I used to run to work in the morning, which was 6 miles, run home to work, which was 12 miles any day. And it was a hard job, I was caring in a nursing home.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, for 30 years. It's a lovely job. No, lovely job. Lovely job. Really, really lovely job. Well, you have to love it.
Yeah.
Because it's not the money. And I mean, it's not it. But you look beside me working in a desk, I'd be a disaster. I'd be wanting to get up every. Whereas in the nursing home, I could talk to the patient for ages in the morning. By time, I used to make time, because you'd say, look, you would. I loved it. I really loved it.
You see, that nature is still with you now when you're running, isn't it?
Yeah.
You talk to others.
I love people, love Patrick. You see, Patrick. I do love people, and I love people that are kind, because life isn't always kind.
No.
And people aren't always kind to one another, whether it's in relationships or families or whatever. Everyone has a story. So I like kindness. As long as we trust one another. I do anyhow.
Yeah.
I've never told something to a runner that has backfired on me or has become an issue where in the end of the day, I'm 66. Last year I didn't think that I'd even be here next year, and I was so frightened.
Yeah.
The difference is now I take when I get up in the morning, my prayer is, thank you, Lord. It's another day. Try and make the most of it. Now, things will happen that I won't be happy about, but they're relative. They're probably always small things. And another thing is I've been running, and I have to say this to you. I was very competitive against myself.
Yeah.
And I think all runners like that. And I I know I'm different now. I think for a while when I was running very well in 1990s, 1993 was probably a particularly good year for me. I got to the World Half Marathon champ in Brussels. I qualified for that, which was a great occasion. Can I remember it now? Not really, but I do remember, being there or whatever. Like, but when I came home with that, you judge yourself. I judge myself. Could I have done better? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Like, I stopped all. You have to stop. I think I was judging myself as an athlete or a runner. Call me whatever you want. A runner, probably better. As a runner more than a person. I was human. I left two small children at home. I went there. It was 5 days away. It was a long trip. It was a tough run. It was a lot of cobblestone. Because I ran 2 or 3 minutes slower than I did in the trial for it. Because we had the national championship half marathon was the trial in Cork that year.
Yeah.
So the first 5 over the line. I think I ran maybe 3 or 4 minutes faster that day in the trial. I was going, how come I wasn't able to? And I instead of enjoying the occasion, I finished in the bloody 70s, which there wasn't very many behind me, but it was still a world half marathon.
Yeah,
I was selected for it, like, and it was great. It was a great occasion, like, us. That's why I say about even the best of athletes. You're still that person. You're an athlete, but you're also a bloody normal person with a 9 to 5 job and maybe 2 kids, 4 kids. I don't know how without so running is magical. Well, I'm saying that because I'm a runner, and I probably do. I love sport. I don't know anything about any other sport, to be honest with you.
We're getting time.
I haven't time. I love to see people. Okay, Cork playing hurling, the win, great. And my nephew plays for Munster in rugby. I absolutely don't know nothing about rugby. But when the match comes on and he's on telly, I bless myself and say prayer for him that Thomas Hearn will be okay.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And I'm not about it. You cut your mate, don't you? I have a great, I have a great outdoor life. I have a nice life. I like my life. I'll tell you something now. Really, the main thing I wanted to do this podcast was, and I mean it, I just want to live the running community, tell them how much I really appreciate them. Their friendship, their support, their just the niceness, the laughs, the cries, whatever you want to call it, the park runs, everything about my life is beautiful with running. Like,
because of the community.
Because of this is it. Like, I get up every Saturday morning and I'm buzzing, not to run the park run, but that's part of it. But till the after the flasks come out on Martin's table. I mean, come on. We bring a brack, we bring a apple tarts, Siobhan Holland scones. Come on. Like, Brain with the camera. You don't know when he's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And they're the pictures I love. Because I tell you what, a picture is a picture today. Anybody can take a picture, you can pose all you like for it. That picture tomorrow is a memory.
Yeah.
And when I was working in the nursing home, and we did memory books, and I'm telling you, that brought a tear to my eye. Never mind to the people whose memories they were.
Yeah.
Memories are magical, and you can't put a price on things that happen at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that running, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's my food.
And talking about food, the social element, the food afterwards, it's also important as well, isn't it? It's that whole social element, that community element that really binds us all together. So it is really important, isn't it?
Look, every one of us are busy. I'm not working now, but I am working my new children. But every one of us is busy. Why would you want to get into your car at 5:30 or 6 o'clock to go to a road race for 8 o'clock if you weren't getting something like that? What was drawing you? It wasn't if you get a category prize for whatever you get, which is great to get them. But how many of us get them? But like if they give no prices, I'm telling you, 99.9% of us would still go with a cup of tea. Yes, the ones that have the lovely cakes and sandwiches and that chat.
Yeah.
Because you go home on a high after any run. I know all my life I went home on a high after any run. Look, all the races that we went to, and Martin's table came out. Coming back to Dungarvan 10, we went into Yall Beach. We laid the table, full and plenty, and it's very few people will actually talk about the race, about their race. Because what's a race? My race is different than your race. My race is different than Sinead's race. And we're all covering the same distance in different times, yes. But I tell you something, and I can honestly say this. I know the people that are slower, it's harder. Number one, person doing 3 hour marathon is out long enough. The person doing a 5 and 6 and 7 hour marathon are out double that time. You can imagine the energy that's been taken from their body and minds.
Yeah.
Like, I have fierce respect for them because like they're out way longer. I always think after 4 hours it must be very hard to stay on the course. It must be, though, but it must be like, it must be, because your head wants to start playing the games as well. So I have fierce respect for us all. And I think we all have respect for one another, haven't we, Patrick? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely. But it was one of the things I was worried about. I was worried about joining a club, what people would think. Were we good enough? And I come to realize that nobody cares how fast or slow you are. You know, they don't really.
What people do care about is that you have a smile and you have a nice word for one another. People do care about that. And I noticed that down at the table on Saturday morning. There could be 20 of us, but nobody is taking over. Nobody wants that. But everybody has a word for one another, or everybody wants to listen to what's going on for somebody else. You know, because every week it's someone's different problem, or someone's different. Like, they might be excited about something that happened. There might be daughter or son in school, or someone that passed the driving test, or different things can happen. We all kind of celebrate together.
Yeah.
We all have that celebration, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And that's what I love about parkrun, because I think it's great. It's for everybody. It's free, and everyone goes there, and there's, people just mingle. I think it's just a fabulous thing to have.
Parkrun Balaconic is, I suppose it's one of the nicest it is one of the nicest, isn't it? In all the parkruns I've ran. I haven't ran many loads away, but I still would think Balaconic would be up in the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you do visit a parkrun in other parts of the country or other parts of the world, like I was in England recently, you still get that great feeling of community. You still get that great feeling of community spirit. It's just wonderful. It just makes you realize what a big organization it is, how big it is.
In the wide world, like nearly.
Yeah.
The worldwide. But I remember when parkruns, I remember a friend of mine, she was a runner as well, and she went to England there one time for a holiday, and she came back and she was on about this parkrun. I said, Mary, you can't think to run, and I went, what do you mean? Oh no, you just turn up, she said. And I thought, she telling me, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So, like, because it was going obviously a lot longer over there than it was going here. And when she came back to the mayor, wouldn't be grand that he was here, that we could just go to a run and not register, and and look,
It's amazing, really, because it has developed into such a community, but so is our running community. I was listening, and I've talked about this regularly, really, not on the podcast, but just in general. The Faithless have a song called God is a DJ, and it says, "This is my church, this is where I heal my hurt." And I think, well, I know it's talking about the community of a nightclub, but I think we've got that in our running community as well. It's almost a place where we can talk to people and heal and almost have a release, while we're running.
Beautiful. And I think we all have a place we run that we, like, mine is down the woods, in the rugby field off the woods. You just come out of the woods and into the rugby field. And I know I have shed many a tear down there. I have stopped and had a cry down there. But I've also celebrated down there. I'd be running around the field after a particularly good marathon. I say, yes, I've done it to myself. I would either celebrate or cry or whatever down there.
Yeah.
That's what that field is for. And it's like, there's always, even if it's a cloudy day, there's always a bit of a brightness will come through the sky when I'm down there. There's always, it's special. I almost say it's a step closer to heaven. And you know what, I really mean this. Life is short. And it's all about trying to make the most and stay content. There's no one happy.
Yeah.
No one always happy. And there's no one always sad, really. It's kind of a middle road, like that you find your balance, and you do. Because none of us are invincible. Not one of us.
No.
There was a time I thought, when I was training hard and I was doing 70 miles a week, whatever, like, I did think particularly when you're running really well and every race you're going out. And this might sound all weird, but I'd be running and it's like turning on the ignition in the car, and my legs would just turn over my arms. It was so easy. Now it's so flipping hard. Like, every step I take now and that's the truth. Like, I felt invincible there for a good few years running.
Up until what age?
I would say, honestly, up until about 52, 53. I really did. I even said 54. That's right. And it's still running very good marathon village. And then it didn't go down, but it's kind of going down. But in the last 5 years, like it's really slipping. Because I'm 66. I'm running. I'm 66 and I'm running. And that to me is a bonus. And that to me is that's the reward for all the years that we banked. And it'll be the same for all us runners. All them years of running that we banked. There, look at Richard. I see Lily that joined Eagle there a few weeks ago. Lily and Richard talking, and I stood back and I literally took in the moment. I thought a girl of 18, 19 and a man, and the conversation was so beautiful. It was, it was just wonderful.
Yeah. I think.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing, it was just so beautiful. It was a natural conversation. He was listening and she was listening.
Yeah. And it wouldn't happen in a pub, and it wouldn't happen, ordinary life.
No, it wouldn't. Like, no disrespect. We do some meditation, a girl and her shorts on her, and she's sitting down like, I'm like, you say, don't tell the truth, but this was so natural and so beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I said nothing to them. They nearly brought a tear to my eye because I went, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Just being able to talk like,
Maybe she was just chatting to him about the latest garment or something, You never know. But that is the beauty of it as well. He might have been passing on wisdom about racing, and she might have been passing on wisdom about the latest technology. That's the wonder of it all, isn't it?
That's one thing I hardly ever did. I hardly ever followed a watch. I kind of ran as I kind of felt always. Like I had no Garmin until Cliss, what's the name? Ryan in the October gave me this watch three years ago. I had a watch from Argus, a stop and start watch. Now when I scored my run, I'd say between 8 miles, and I know what pace I was doing. So that's but this is lovely. I love having it.
What's that?
It's Garmin, some Garmin. Look, some Garmin. What I don't know, 30 something is it or 20? I don't know. It's lovely, and I love it. She gave me that. She up grade or whatever, and she gave me this one, and I love it. But I'm not on Strava like that. I don't.
You should be.
Nah, it's just low enough. No. When you're running I'm running 50 years. You think, but it's a long time.
It's very long.
It's a long.
I keep saying, even when you see NH and Richard, as you said, that's all I don't need. I don't think I'd ever do the speeds there too. But I still want to be running. You still want to be able.
Yeah, and that's great. But you see, you will if you stay healthy. That's the thing. I was so lucky, like Audrey. I never, Jesus, take God, I never had a stress fracture. I never had a serious injury. The most injury I ever had kept me out for, I fell and hurt my shoulder.
And what about shoes?
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 No. I love listening to you about his shoes because I think he's amazing. I will buy a shoe, go into the shop and I'll ask for a shoe, and I go, what you normally wear, whatever. I'm gone to Saconia, it's always wear the Nike Pegasus, but I never knew what, and I just go in for the Saconia. I don't like the ones with the things in what you call the fast, meant to be there. No, I don't really love carbon plates. I got 1 or 2 pairs. I just like a nice, comfortable shoe that feels right for my foot. Yeah. I know now the younger runners and the faster runners. I can understand them wanting to be a shoe that make them maybe 20 seconds faster in a 5K. What the flip is 20 seconds going to do my 5K? Think €300 for a pair of shoes? No, I
don't rotate or different shoes.
No, one thing I do, I have to do this. I am sensitive. I buy 2 pairs of the same shoe together. So I buy 4 pairs of shoes in a year. That's the most I buy. And I'm lucky enough I never have to buy them because I always have a few vouchers, which is great. And I'm grateful for that. But I'd always buy 2 pairs together because I rotate the 2 pairs and I kind of feel happy with that. I'd use one for the long ones and the other for the short runs. And I kind of, I put a heart on the ones that are older. I don't know how many miles in them, but I know which ones are. My long running ones would be ones with more mileage than the ones with the short, So I'd hold on to the 4 pairs a year. That's what I do. And that's okay, isn't it? 4 pairs a year?
It is. My wife, I'd be a bit like Ian, so I wouldn't have as many as Ian, but I still.
No, I did about 6 or 7 pairs of shoes the most of the time in the hot press. And 2 of them pairs would be only just for the park run or whatever. No, I have the 2 pairs. When they're done, they're done. They've done what I want them to do. Now I have a racing pair, I'd always have 1 racing pair that I'd only choose them once a year.
And just like your shoes being done, we're running out of time. We could talk for hours, I'm sure. Listen, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're full of wisdom, you're full of motivation, and you're a pleasure to talk to.
Oh, delighted, Patrick. And listen, just lovely meeting you for a chat. And I really mean that. Beautiful. Thanks so much.
And that was episode 46 of the Middle of the Pack podcast with my guest, Mary Sweeney. And what a pleasure that chat was. We could have talked for hours. We maybe should have talked for hours. I could have had 2 or 3 podcasts with Mary, and maybe in the future we will have her back on again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to do our shoe reviews. We're going to look at some clothing with Karen Toomey as well, but have had a really wonderful time editing that chat down with Mary Sweeney. I hope the cafe in the background wasn't too much of a distraction, but I, as I said, I really enjoyed it. So for this week, thanks for listening and keep on running.